So I am just filming myself working in public right here. I am pulling up an old, probably 4-year-old project I've been working on for 4 years off and on. It's called PhygiLink. This is the Phygivault that you're seeing on screen. Now that the AI tools have caught up to what I really wanted to do, it has turned me into a one-man art department, basically. I can do all this stuff. Little YouTube videos, little Google AI Studio, Gemini 3, Claude, all this stuff. It allows me to finally create stuff that I've been trying to do and just being held back by not being able to hire developers who would charge you $30,000-$40,000 just to make, an MVP, a minimal viable product. Well, I can do that myself now, as you can see. I was using Lovable for a while, but Lovable always had errors and you had to pay for points and you would use up your points just correcting errors. It was cool to learn, but now that Google has come up with just a slew of stuff that you can use that most people don't even realize is there, this plus Firebase or Superbase's backend is just unreal. It's like the magic wand I've always wanted. So anyway, that doesn't matter. I don't care about that because nobody understands what I'm saying anyway. So what I'm working on here is the PhygiLink marketplace. And PhygiLink, Phygi.link, if it works. And just sheer raw talent. So to give you an idea of what it is.
Are you ready for the next step in collectibles? Linking them. Now I have a digital NFT certificate to keep track of ownership on the blockchain. Now I have a digital authentication and NFT combined for my collection.
PhygiLink fuses physical and digital asset ownership through unclonable NFC tags paired with blockchain-based NFTs. This combination ensures authentic physical items, verified digital ownership, and immutable provenance records. Introducing PhygiToken, the engine driving PhygiLink's collector ecosystem, powering digital authenticity, premium collectible upgrades, and exclusive drops on the base network. Collectors will be able to sell their new Phygital collectibles on our marketplace, the Phygivault, using USDC stablecoin. Join the Phygital movement and be part of the next evolution in collecting. This is just the beginning. PhygiLink is building an ecosystem where every collectible tells a story, and the future is closer than you think.
Pretty cool, huh? PhygiLink. I am building this whole thing. So I got to go back and update some things. I made this a few months ago. So we are never ever going to use the word NFT ever again because this is for the collectible space. So people my age and above are going to have all the collectibles, watches, comics, coins, this, that, jewelry, whatever. They don't know anything about crypto, blockchain. You say NFT, they're going to say, I don't know what you're saying. Or they're just going to throw up their guard and say, oh, no, NFTs, wasn't that 2 years ago, 8 years ago? Didn't that crash? Isn't crypto crashing? Isn't crypto going away? No, it's not. It's literally the future. So all of this is the future, but they don't understand, which is fine. So we have to kind of dial it into the layman. So PhygiLink is Phygital plus digital. So we're going to have to, I always converse with multiple AI assistants. So instead of calling them NFTs, which that's what they are, they'll be RWA, which is a crypto, an acronym, real world asset digital certificate. So it's sort of like having a Cabbage Patch doll with a birth certificate that you show on your phone. But what we're doing is you'll have something like this. This is a Phygi tag that'll hang off your little item, and you'll tap your product and it will show you the digital certificate. What does that do? It is immutable. It cannot be changed. It will show information about the product or whatever it is, and it will log every time it changes hands to a new owner. And so it's just kind of a cool shtick. It's like having your Cabbage Patch's birth certificate connected to it. That makes it a phygital item. Now, in case you don't know what this is, literally everything very soon is going to be tokenized by people like BlackRock, State Street, Citadel, all these big, massive banks. They've been talking about it for years. I've been talking about it for 4 or 5 years. Tokenization, they're going to basically represent something and fractionalize it into a bunch of NFTs, and you will buy those little fractional portions of whatever. Everything will be fractionalized, and then they're just going to create these derivative markets, and they're going to make billions and billions and billions of dollars betting and selling on fractions of real stuff. It's coming, it's happening, it doesn't matter. So RWA is a portion, it's a niche of crypto, real world assets. There's already a slew of tokens there that you can invest in now, and you should be making money. Well, I came up with this before anybody knew about this stuff. So let me show you what this does. So here is a Secret Wars #1 from 1984, back when I was a 4th grader. And you see in the corner, right there. No, sorry, other side. There's the Phygi tag. That is an NFC-enabled sticker. Or a hang tag for stuff like your Air Jordans or whatever. So what you do, let me see if I can demonstrate this. So you take your, gotta be careful because this is old. It's older than most of you guys. Take this guy and you tap it. There you go. And pulls up NFT. But the digital certificate, see that? I made that. That is a custom piece of artwork of a floating comic inside a translucent case with all the information at the top, blah, blah, blah. See? That's all it is. So what I'm doing here on screen, well, this right here, this is PhygiLink. This shows you, see some of these pictures. I gotta fix it. Just shows you all the stuff, it talks about what's coming. That's just a placeholder really. So right here is the actual marketplace I'm working on. These are just placeholders. This tells you what it is. There's a mock-up of the actual marketplace. We'll have watches, toys, coins, art, whatever. Sports memorabilia, basically anything. You can Phygitize these things and put a sticker with it or something. And you can sell it here once we're done. Now you won't be able to sell it no, you can't. You could sell it on eBay, I guess, but you'd have to explain to people what it was, and then you have to transfer the digital certificate from digital wallet to digital wallet, so like MetaMask to MetaMask. And unless you're crypto savvy, you'll have no idea. This entire ecosystem is built for this. So it will be you buy and sell your collectibles here with real cash. You pay. That person will ship you the item just like you would in eBay. But then you also have the digital certificate that sits inside your digital wallet, which is outside of this ecosystem for now. So like a MetaMask wallet, those are free. It just embeds itself in your Chrome browser. And the actual certificate sits there. So the person would just basically email you their address of their wallet. You will take that address and you would say transfer. It'll cost you like a penny in gas. It always does. And you send it right over to the person. Now you now have the birth certificate that sits with the item. It's just kind of a cool little thing, but it does have a place in, heading off fakes. You can't fake the NFT. It is what it is. It is permanent. So there are some real world, aspects to this. Now what I'm doing here, this is called vibe coding. I'm creating this entire thing using Google Gemini. No, that's not it, but it's helping me. Let's see. Well, anyway, it helps with the coding. It can help with the prompts I need to put here, which has its own AI built in. I prefer to do it in Gemini. It interrogates me and we come up with a build prompt and we start putting it here. It's a whole process, but it works. See, it comes up with stuff. So we're working on back office categories, all this stuff. It's a lot that goes into this. You have to explain to people what this is. Why do you want a Phygi tag? Why do you want to Phygitize? I'm coining all these phrases. Verified authenticity, Phygitize your item. So I'm going to change this NFT. So I'll go back through here and change all these. Scan and show. It's really, most places that are doing this before me, they were on my same brainwave. They will take your item and put it in a vault. They will actually keep your item for you. And then they'll send you like an NFT digitally. Or they'll fractionalize it off, and then you can like mint more NFTs and you can sell it stuff. It just starts getting really complicated. And most people, if they don't even understand this at the base level, they're not going to understand that. Just a very small niche of collectors and blockchain enthusiasts will be able to do that. So you basically negate everybody. Mom and Pop Smith they're not going to be able to participate. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to normalize this as much as possible, so people with the really cool collectibles can participate too. We had a token that we were going to mint that was going to be the currency here, but you would have to buy the tokens, hold them in your wallet to be able to play, to be able to buy and sell on the whole portal. That's too much for them too. Most people can't do that either. So we are going to introduce the Phygi token. I've already got it minted sitting on my MetaMask now, a few billion of them. We will eventually sell those out in the open market once this is up and moving and we have some traction. And those will be utility tokens. They'll do stuff. You'll get discounts. You'll get to trade them in for certain things. There'll be reasons to hold them, not just for price appreciation. So if you get in early, you could become a millionaire, hopefully. So that's coming too. Right here, somebody poked a hole in this a long time ago. Said, well, how do you know the picture is the real thing when they digitize or put up their thing? I said, good idea, or I have no idea. So we plugged that hole. We're going to have to get partners that are, the authenticators like CGC or Beckett for comics and sports cards. Whoever does Rolexes, whoever's the authority, like on the TV show Pawn Shop or whatever. Pawn Stars, when they get in the guy who comes in and tells you how much it's worth, well, everybody takes his word for it because he's the expert. So he signs off on that being worth whatever he says. So whatever house is the one who sets the price point for whatever widget you're trying to sell, we're going to have to partner up with them. I've already created a portal for them to be able to log into. Once you send your item to them and it gets authenticated by them, they'll give you a certificate or whatever it is they give you. They can also now, as soon as we get this rolling, be able to say, hey, would you like to spend another $50, $75, whatever it is, to Phygitize your item? And the person will say, what does that mean? So they'll show it to them. All you do is pay a little extra. We'll send you back your widget with our certification. Another company, PhygiLink, will Phygitize your item, and they will mail you in the mail one of these guys, a sticker or a tag. And this will show up in a nice little pretty thing with a QR code. You scan it and pops open. It'll tell you what to do. Then you'll get that, and you put this with your item. You hang it on your shoes, put it on your car, put it on your baseball, whatever it is. It sits with the item and goes with it. Every single one of these will generate a Phygi ID, which will be a unique little code that you can also, right here, you'll be able to verify the authenticity. You'll put it right here, type it in there, and verify it. I believe Beckett, those guys did that now. I mean, a lot of the stuff is done now. This is just pulling it into the Web3 space. That's all. And so that's it so far. I got on a comic Facebook group a couple days ago and said, I sold one of these on eBay the other day. In fact, the guy just got it yesterday. Very first one. Because you can't really sell them as NFTs on eBay. They'll flag it and they'll kick it out. And so you have to be real careful about it. So I did. I sold one. And I told these people who I really didn't know, and they just beat the shit out of me about it. They were like, this is a scam. You're a scammer. It's a scam. You're too late. The NFTs are done. NFTs are 8 years ago. Blah, 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 blah. Just hammered away. So I fended all of them off as best I could, saying, how's this a scam? It's not a scam. This is just a cool Web3 aspect of the future, which is coming anyway. Whether I do it or not, somebody else will do it. Well, they didn't get it. They beat me up, blah, blah, blah. But what I extracted from that beatdown session was NFT is a dirty word for everybody, especially people who are not savvy in the market. Most people who are into NFTs and blockchain. They know it's not dead. They know it's got a place. It's got a place in logistics. There's places for it. It's got a huge market. They're just riding. They're just talking about when it crashed and burned a couple of years ago because it was a bubble. But so we will drop NFT for real world asset digital certificate or an asset backed digital certificate. It's longer. It's the same thing, but it sounds more corporate and not, artsy fartsy NFTs that are overblown monkey pictures. That's basically what they all think. But we're going to drag it into the Web3 space and make it more corporate, more respectable. So I've got to go through and update the verbiage on all that stuff. And another guy had he may be watching this. He gave me the idea of using this for insurance purposes. Like if you have a collection that's worth lots of money and you want it insured, he said it'd be really cool to be able to just send some files to the insurance company with all these Phygital, certificates. I believe Kevin O'Leary's even been talking about this. He totally would invest in something like this, like what we're doing. Anyway, to help them simplify, streamline, the process of insuring people's massive, expensive collectible or collections of whatever it is, Star Wars toys, doesn't even matter. This is applicable to all of it. So this is just a glimpse of what we're doing here. And anything else? Yeah. I just did this right here because I just fidgetized this one right here. This is number 13 Spider-Man. I just happen to have lots of comic books, which is why I'm using comics. My partner, he has trading cards. We're going to start putting those up. And we'll start filling up the marketplace with real stuff. And then we will reach out to people as partners and we get this going. Because I think when you explain it to them, they have no clue. But when you show it to them, like, oh, okay, I get it. So we're going to have to simplify the whole explanation, get rid of the dirty words, NFT, and plug in some corporate words, digital certification, and get some more visuals. Because when you do that, you show it to them, people are like, oh, that's really awesome.